This is a €200 knife mystery box from Messerfieber in Germany. Let's have some fun. So let's unbox each knife one by one, see how they feel, test the sharpness, and check the actual prices to see does the value add up. Let's start with the big one. And this one feels pretty nice. As you can see, it's fairly big, it's an outdoors knife, and the handle feels like G10 or something similar, but a bit more natural, might be something different. But other than that, feels quite nice. Did come with this leather sheet, which is very nice, but overall, feels solid. So let's check the sharpness. First off, let's test it with some paper, see how it slices. Actually, for its size and thickness, feels very solid. My prediction is around 200. Let's see, am I right? Let's put this here, switch it on, and measure it. And it says 210. So, I'm quite close. It's a pretty nice result. So, now, let's dig up the price. And it's currently on sale for 80 bucks. For a knife this size, that price seems very solid. As it turns out, the blade's actually 1.4116 stainless steel, which is a German steel. It's not my favorite, but it's not bad. It has very good corrosion resistance and it's easy to sharpen, but it's fairly soft. So take a note. And the handle is actually T10, not G10, it's T10, which is the first memory, but it seems to be fairly similar to G10. We'll see. But other than that, it's a very solid knife. One thing I noticed that the jimping is a bit uneven. It does feel nice. Has a nice grip, but as you can see, it's a bit uneven. So it might be handmade or whatever, but it's slightly crooked and a bit uneven. So yeah, but for the price, for its size, it's very solid. So let's jump to the next one. And we have a folding knife. Seems pretty solid, a fairly simple build, and it seems to be named Klapmat. As you can see, it has a back lock over here, so the blade locks in place, but other than that, seems like a fairly simple knife. A pretty nice build, not bad, and the handle seems to be the same T10 material, if I'm guessing. So, let's check how it slices. After that, let's check the actual sharpness. This one seems a bit more slicey, so around 150 is my guess. Let's get this out of the way and let's check. And 195. Pretty respectable. So now, let's check the actual price. And this one costs 45 bucks, which is a pretty solid price. As it's a solid folding knife, nothing special. It's a pretty good work knife, I'd say. Feels nice, feels very sturdy, doesn't move. As you can see, a pretty solid knife. So, a solid price. Now, the next one. And we have a compact fixed blade. As you can see, looks pretty interesting. And it's called the T-Rex. Let's pull it out. As you can see, there's a nice lip on top. And the knife looks like this. I actually saw this one in their page previously. And I really wanted to get it. Looks nice, very interesting shape. And it did come with these spare screws, which I'm guessing are the same screws as here. You can simply switch them out either to black or to silver color as they are. But now let's check how it slices, as the shape is very interesting. Let's see how this goes. It kind of resembles a tanto. As you can see, there are two tips right here, but slightly different. For slicing, feels a bit weird, as when you slice, the edge is quite narrow, so when you get to the first step, it gets weird. But other than that, feels nice. This one's actually N690, as it says on here, which is really nice. It's a nice blade steel. And other than that, the handle seems to be the same T10, and also has this lanyard, which feels quite nice. The handle is long enough to grip it properly, even with large hands like mine, but the lanyard is quite a nice add. So now, let's check how sharp is it. From the cutting, my guess would be around 200. Let's see how this goes. And 260, which is respectable. Anything below 300 for a new edge is pretty decent. I'd like to be below 200, but it's okay. So now, let's check the price. And this one's actually the same price as this one, which is pretty insane considering the size difference. But this one is N690, so it's a pretty decent price for it. So yeah, has an interesting shape, and overall the value feels pretty solid. So let's check the next one. Now this is a beautiful sheath. Just take a look at that design. Also has a pretty nice clip. And the knife also looks pretty nice. Has a very similar style to this one. They could be a set of sorts with a smaller blade and a larger blade together. But other than that, the handle seems to have the same T10 material, and I'm guessing this is probably the same as on this one. 1.4 116 stainless steel. But other than that, feels nice. A very solid size to properly grip it, at least for hands like mine. Does have an opening for a lanyard and a pretty solid drop point blade. So let's see how it slices. Pretty nice. Slicey. So I'm guessing around 220. Let's check it. Everything's beginning to be a mess, but we'll find a way. It's okay. Let's see what it is. 265. So again, pretty respectable. But also forgot to mention what it's actually called, as this looks pretty insane. It says Waschbarklingebege. I'm not German, so yeah, it's pretty insane. But now, let's check the price. And it's 60 bucks, which for a knife with such a beautiful sheath seems very solid. Here's again the sheath, and let's put it inside. As you can see, as a gift, this would be pretty perfect. Looks super nice. And overall, as I said, it's 1.4 116 stainless steel. Again, as on the other ones, which is not the best, but it's also not bad. And this is T10, just like on the other ones. So, let's say, pretty decent. But now, we have one more. And I actually got it. It's called the Iron Root. I saw it on their page, and looks pretty insane. As you can see, there's a ball on the back, and it's actually fully metal, so feels very weird. As you can see, the balance of the weight is somewhere around here towards the back, which is quite interesting. As for a standard knife, it's usually pretty close to the pivot, around here. So with this one, it feels very weird to hold it. Even if you hold it like this, it still tilts like this. Very weird. The handle seems to be made from micarta, if I remember it correctly, as I did check it out previously. And I'm not sure what's the actual purpose of this ball. It might be to strike or something maybe like this. As a hammer, could be pretty effective, but as you can see, looks wise, it does kind of resemble something. Let me know, what do you see? But other than that, the movement is very smooth. The blade seems very nice. Let's see, does it have any indications? It seems not, but very nice. As you can see, there's a liner lock. So let's see how it slices. I'm guessing it should be very slicey with a shape like this. Very nice. That's nice. I'm guessing around 200 should be the result, but yeah, looks nice, feels nice. Let's see how sharp it actually is. .255, so very close to the other ones. Let's get this out of the way. Everything's cluttered around, but this one feels actually super nice. I like it a lot, but it does feel very weird. It's hard to explain it, but if you've ever held a knife, you probably know a thing or two about the center of mass. And this one feels super weird. But let's check the actual price. And it's 85 bucks, which for this knife feels pretty solid. It feels premium, and the blade is D2 steel. So it's a solid steel. It's not the best, but for a budget knife, it's very solid. Overall, I like it a lot. So let's get rid of the bulk. Let's see, was there anything else? So besides the knives, we do also get a couple of patches and these keychain knives, which do feel pretty cheap. They're engraved. They probably can be used to open some packages and so on, but they feel very cheap. So let's add $1 a piece for both of these. There's also this keychain, which is not sharp. It's just a decorative keychain, and the screws. So I'd say the assortment is very solid. The variety is quite surprising, as all of them are different. And value-wise, the deal is pretty amazing. My personal favorite from the lot is this thing, just because of the unique look, but functionally it would be probably this thing, which even for the full price of, what was it, 80 bucks, this feels very solid, feels very sturdy, very massive, and for the price it's a very nice deal. So yeah, if you want to get one for yourself or maybe as a gift, I'll add the links in the description. I'll also add the links for each of the knives. And yeah, if you liked the video, leave a like, subscribe, and see you next one. Bye!